Hey guys, Mubarak from In Penny Stock here. I was actually just talking with a good friend of mine, and we were kind of talking about, what exactly affects stock prices. And a lot of people have different ideas. They think when new technology comes out or a company comes out with a new product, a new line, that that's going to affect the stock prices. But in reality, it all comes down to the basic principles of economics, right? Supply and demand. So a company could be amazing, have millions of dollars in revenue and profit, but if nobody knows about that company, if nobody cares about their stock, nobody knows about their line items or what they're selling, then their share price is going to be low and it's not going to be affected at all. So that's why one of the main things that happens is that stock prices always gets influenced by news. That's one of the first major catalysts of a stock price. Anytime you see a press release come out, anytime you hear on the news on CNBC or any of these outlets that kind of, Yahoo Finance, Wall Street Journal, whenever they talk about a company, always you're going to see some type of dramatic change in the stock price. And the most important thing to know about that change in the stock price is that it probably, and actually 99% of the time, has nothing to do with the actual company, right? Because how can a company's entire valuation change in one day? They're doing the same business, they're running the same operations, and yet you'll see companies like Nintendo, when Pokemon Go came out, their share prices went up like 100%. Nothing changed at Nintendo. They came out with the product, yeah, they probably had a lot of sales, but the fundamental business was the same. And yet you see the valuation of it go from 500 million or a billion to 2 billion in one day. So that's definitely the main important thing to keep in mind. A lot of people, you're going to hear some from friends, family, that sometimes they'll hear of like a hot penny stock tip, right? Like, oh, you should invest in this company. Even the big companies, Apple, Twitter, Facebook, Google, oh, you should invest in this because they're about to come out with a new product and so it's going to go up. Yeah, sometimes they'll be right, but more importantly, it's about if you understand what affects the stock price, that's how you'll be able to actually profit off of, those changes. The other two aspects that affect stock prices, and this is what, if you as a stock trader, if you want to be successful, need to really look into, is both the technical part and the fundamental. So the technical analysis is actually looking at the price history, essentially. So you've probably seen in a couple of my videos or just around the internet, whenever you look at a stock, your stocks app on your iPhone, you'll see the charts. And that chart is, it's not that intimidating. All it's showing you is the price history of the stock. So 3 months ago, what price was it at? It just shows the variance and the change in the price over time. Now, what you have to do, and what we teach in penny stock and in our courses, is how you can utilize this price history information and know when to buy and when to sell a stock just by looking at the chart, right? That's probably one of the most asked questions. When do I buy this stock? How do I know if it's going to go up? How do I know if it's going to go down? So the way to do that is actually called technical analysis, because based on the price history, you can tell whether or not the price will shoot up, whether it's going to go down, and what are certain points of support and resistance that you can look for just by looking at the chart. So I can make a decision on whether or not a stock is good within 30 seconds of just looking at the stock price history. And you look at it in both the short and long term. But we're going to go more into details about that in another video. I'll do a specific video just on technical analysis. The other third element, so right, first one we had was news, press releases, that affects the stock. Probably one of the most major ones, especially with bigger companies. But then when you get down to the more granular penny stocks that people might have not heard of, and you just see them tweeted and you just know them by the ticker symbol, those are affected by technical analysis, which is looking at the graph, and then fundamental analysis, which is actually getting to know the stock. Fundamental analysis is knowing their income statement, knowing their balance sheet, their financial statements. Now, again, a lot of penny stock traders are able to be successful without doing this because the news and the technical analysis is enough. One of the most premium, strategies that we have in penny stock is called the double catalyst rule. And it utilizes only the first two pieces of information to make successful, profitable trades. But fundamental analysis, it's a lot more important for bigger stocks, like more, blue chip companies or, traded on NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, ones that are required to submit audited financial statements. That'll tell you the health of the company, whether or not they're making a profit, whether this is their first loss in a quarter, But really, you're going to see that with penny stocks, you don't even have that issue in the first place. It's just pretty much a continuous um, pump and dump scheme, essentially based off of the supply and demand that I went back to in the beginning. The whole principle of economics. If a lot of people are buying a share, it's going to go up. If a lot of people don't want it anymore and need to sell it, or they're shorting it, it's going to go down. And that's kind of the very basic principle of what affects the stock price. So I hope that kind of helped give you guys some information. If you have any other questions, you can always email me at admin@inpennystock.com. And we just came out with a new feature that we're testing out. But basically, if you text stocks, right, the word stocks, one word, STOCKS, to the number 44222, you'll be automatically subscribed to our special video series that teaches you exactly how you can be a profitable trader in today's market, with the current market strategy, with the current presidency, with every market environment out right now, because certain strategies work differently across the year. So we have this special, so just text stocks to 44222, and it'll send you a follow-up text. You just reply with your email address, and you'll be subscribed. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.